Bihar government's got rid of tension. Central government backtracks on its claim in caste survey case. Affidavit filed in Supreme Court. India's first sun mission will be launched today. Aditya L-1 will be installed at Lagrange point 1 of the sun. America sent the first sun mission. Chandrayaan 3 gave good news. Evidence of oxygen found on the moon. Search for hydrogen is on. BRICS grouping expanded. 6 new countries joined the group. A total of 23 countries had applied. And CME becomes India's first carbon negative garrison. Power generation capacity increased to 7 megawatt. Many needs will be met. Recently, the Supreme Court had issued a notice to the centre on the caste-based survey conducted in Bihar. Now, the central government has filed its affidavit and responded to it. In the affidavit filed, the government has said that only the centre has the right to conduct the census. The centre has claimed that the census is a statutory process and the process is governed by the Census Act 1948. It was also written in the affidavit that under the Census Act 1948, no government other than the centre has the right to conduct census or any similar process. But later the centre removed this claim from the affidavit. After that, it is believed that the Bihar government will no longer have to face any kind of problems on the caste survey because the Bihar government has already said in the Patna High Court that this is not a census but a survey. Only after this, Patna High Court gave green signal to Bihar government for the survey. In its affidavit, the central government has also stated that the subject of census is included in the union list under entry 69 in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Therefore, the state government does not have the authority to conduct any census. Let us tell you that in Section 3 of the Census Act 1948, it is mentioned that the census should be done by the central government. The central government may conduct a census in all or any part of the territories to which this act extends. Whenever the central government considers it necessary, it may, by notification in the official gazette, declare its intention to conduct a census. Only after this, the census process can be started. The jurisdiction of the central and state governments has been clarified in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Under Article 246 of the Indian Constitution, 3 lists are mentioned, which include union, state and concurrent list. Notably, after a lot of controversy, the matter of caste-based survey had reached the Patna High Court. After getting a clean chit from the Patna High Court, the matter reached the Supreme Court. In this context, the Supreme Court had issued a notice to know the stand of the central government. Recently, the Allahabad High Court upheld the constitutional right to change sex through surgical procedures. The court has accepted this while hearing a petition. The court has directed the Director General of Police, Uttar Pradesh, to take a decision in accordance with the law on the application of a woman constable seeking permission for SRS, that is sex reassignment surgery. According to the petitioner, he has all the characteristics of a male personality and on this basis the sex change should be allowed. In her petition, the police constable has claimed that she is suffering from gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a condition characterized by a feeling of incongruity between a person's natural sex and gender identity. On the other hand, gender identity is the personal sense of knowing which gender a person belongs to and how he or she sees himself. In its decision, the Allahabad High Court also referred to the decision given by the Supreme Court in the year 2014. The Supreme Court gave a landmark judgment in Nalsa versus Union of India and others. The petition filed by Nalsa sought rights for transgenders in India. The Supreme Court in its judgment recognized transgenders as the third gender. It also confirmed their fundamental rights under the Indian Constitution. In the 2014 decision, the court accepted that transgender people have the right to choose their gender. In the judgment, the apex court described gender identity as an integral part of a person's dignity. Recently, the Supreme Court gave its verdict regarding self-respect marriage. The court has said that there is no restriction on lawyers conducting self-respect marriages under Section 7(1)(a) of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. With this decision, the Supreme Court cancelled the decision given by the Madras High Court in 2014. Actually, in the year 2014, a person named Allahabad had filed a petition in the Madras High Court. It was said in the petition that after marriage, when his wife went to her maternal home, the woman's parents did not allow her to go to her husband. In such a situation, the petitioner accused his wife's parents of keeping his wife in illegal custody. But the Madras High Court rejected the self-respect marriage certificate issued by the lawyer. Also, the petitioner's appeal of habeas corpus was rejected. Allahabad then moved to the apex court. It is noteworthy that self-respect marriage was added to the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 by amendment in the year 1967. It got the assent of the President in the year 1968. Under this amendment, Section 7(a) was added to the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. However, it extended only to the state of Tamil Nadu. Let us tell you that Section 7(a) deals with special provisions on self-respect and secular marriage. It legally recognizes any marriage between any two Hindus. It is also known as Surya or Sera Thiruta marriage. Such marriages are solemnized in presence of relatives, friends, or other persons. In this, both the parties declare each other as husband or wife in a language they understand. Additionally, each party in the marriage garlands each other and puts a ring on the other's finger and performs rituals such as tying the Mangal Sutra. It is necessary to register such marriage as per law. After the success of Chandrayaan 3 mission, ISRO has announced the launch date of Surya mission. This mission is being launched by ISRO today, that is on 2nd September. This mission, named Aditya L-1, is the first Indian space mission to study the Sun. Under this mission, the spacecraft will be placed in the halo orbit around the L1, that is Lagrange point of the Sun-Earth system. The distance of this orbit from the Earth is about 1.5 million kilometers. Let us tell you that L1 point has been chosen for studying the Sun for a special reason. In fact, satellites placed in the coronal orbit of the L1 point can see the Sun continuously without any eclipse. Also, according to ISRO scientists, every storm originating from the Sun and moving towards the Earth passes through L1. Lagrange points are those points located in space where a field of attraction and repulsion arises due to the gravitational force of two space bodies such as the Sun and the Earth. Let us tell you that the Lagrange points are named in honor of the mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange. Currently, there are 5 Lagrange points: L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5. According to experts, these points can often be used to reduce the fuel consumption required by a spacecraft to maintain its position. Actually, many facts related to the origin of the universe can be revealed by studying the Sun. It is noteworthy that solar weather affects the planets and satellites in the solar system. Changes in this weather can cause changes in the orbits of many planets and satellites. Let us tell you that before India, America, Germany and Europe have sent space missions to study the Sun. The first Sun mission was sent by the American space agency NASA in the year 1960 in the name of Pioneer. Creating history on August 23, India's Chandrayaan 3 made a soft landing on the south pole of the moon. The Government of India has announced to celebrate this day as National Space Day. Along with this, the place where Vikram, the lander of Chandrayaan 3, made a soft landing has also been named. The landing site has been named Shiv Shakti Point. Significantly, before India, America, Russia and China have also registered their presence on the moon. But India is the first country in the world to land on the south pole of the Earth's only natural satellite. Before India, many countries tried soft landing on the south pole of the moon, but the success was not achieved. In the past, Russia's Luna 25 also crashed before soft landing at the South Pole. Actually, the moon is inclined about 1.5 degrees on its axis. Due to this, there is darkness in parts of the north and south pole of the moon. According to reports, the south pole of the moon is much bigger than the north pole. According to experts, there have been signs of water in the region of the moon which is permanently shadowed. Since the south pole of the moon has remained untouched so far, scientists want to study this region. This is the reason why many countries want to go to the south pole of the moon. Recently, ISRO shared a new update related to Chandrayaan 3. In this new information, the presence of many types of chemical elements on the surface of the moon has been confirmed. Preliminary studies have claimed the presence of oxygen, aluminium, sulphur, calcium, iron, chromium, and titanium on the lunar surface. It is believed that with the help of these chemical elements, it will help in understanding the fundamental composition of the lunar surface. For example, the presence of sulphur on the surface of the moon indicates many astronomical events. According to scientists, sulphur is usually generated in volcanic activities. Its presence on the lunar surface can be helpful in solving the mystery of the origin of the moon. Apart from this, the thermal properties of the moon's polar region were studied through caste-based, that is Chandra's surface thermophysical experiment. Through this instrument, the temperature of the upper soil of the moon has been checked. The instrument is capable of reaching a depth of 10 cm below the lunar surface. Variation in temperature has been recorded up to 10 cm below the lunar surface. The temperature in the graph was recorded from -10 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. For the first time in the history of space science, the soil of the moon's south pole has been investigated. Recently, the Government of India took a major decision regarding the export of domestic rice. The government banned the export of white rice. The objective behind this was to curb domestic rice prices and ensure food security in the country. However, keeping in mind the relations of other countries at the global level, India also lifted this ban. India has decided to export rice to Singapore, Bhutan, and Mauritius. Apart from this, export duty of 20% has been imposed on the export of parboiled rice. Significantly, India is the largest rice exporting country globally with a share of 45%. India exported non-basmati white rice worth $2.2 billion in financial year 2023. Let us tell you that India is the second largest producer of rice in the world. At the same time, China is at the first place in this list. According to statistics, the total production of rice in India during the year 2022-23 is estimated at 1,308.37 lakh tons. This is 13.65 lakh tons more than the previous year. The 15th BRICS Summit was held in Johannesburg from 22 to 24 August. At the end of the conference, the names of 6 new BRICS countries were announced. These countries are Saudi Arabia, Iran, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Argentina. From January 1st, 2024, these countries will be included in the group. The inclusion of new countries aims to develop a strong coalition of developing countries. Along with this, the BRICS groups has to be expanded. According to media reports, about 23 countries had applied for full membership of BRICS, in which only 6 countries were selected. These 6 countries have been selected following the consensus of the member countries on the BRICS expansion process, principles, norms, and procedures. However, not enough is known about these specific criteria. Let us tell you that Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Iran are the 3 largest oil-producing countries in the world. Significantly, BRICS currently represents about 40% of the world's population and more than a quarter of GDP. It is an abbreviation for a group of emerging economies of the world consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The first BRICS summit was held in 2009 in Yekaterinburg, Russia. South Africa was admitted to BRIC in December 2010. After this, the group was named BRICS. Recently, the Pune-based CME, that is College of Military Engineering, has become India's first carbon-negative garrison or military formation. CME's solar power generation capacity now stands at 7 MW. Several projects have been undertaken at CME by the Military Engineering Services to reduce the carbon footprint. The largest part of the project, the 7 MW solar power plant at CME, has been completed in 2 phases. Apart from this, many more pilot projects have been included in this, such as installation of solar stem cooking plant for cooking and retrofitting emission control equipment to curb emissions. The first phase of the 7 MW solar power plant meets CME's day-to-day requirement. This phase was slated to start in 2021 with a 2 MW solar power generation capacity, while the second phase was started with a 5 MW solar power generation capacity. This phase has proved to be important in achieving the objective of National Solar Mission of the Government of India. The 5 megawatt plant connected to the Maharashtra state electricity grid makes it possible to consume the electricity generated at CME nationally. In this way, dependence on conventional thermal power can be reduced. With this, the achievement of National Clean Air Program has been ensured. According to the Environmental Observatory Report 2022, militaries around the world contribute 5.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Let us tell you that CME was established in 1948 as a premier institute of the armed forces. This institute trains officers of all ranks of the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force. Being of national importance, this institute is helpful in various aspects of technological progress. Recently, a research has revealed a surprising fact related to the origin of cyclones. There is a possibility of increase in its frequency in the Indian region. In fact, the occurrence of cyclones is usually repeated only after a period of 20 to 30 years. But in research, it is claimed that the time period between two storms may decrease in the near future. This research has been published by Nature Communications Journal. In research, PDO, that is Pacific Decadal Oscillation, and global warming have been cited as the reason for this. According to the study, the number of equatorial cyclones during the years 1981 to 2010 was about 43% less as compared to the years 1951 to 1980. According to experts, this condition was due to the positive level of PDO. The PDO is a long-term oceanic fluctuation of the Pacific Ocean which increases and decreases approximately every 20 to 30 years. The effects of PDO like El Nino and La Nina are seen in the tropical Pacific region. It is noteworthy that PDO affects the northeast Indian summer monsoon. PDO mainly has two phases which include hot and cold phase. According to the researchers, PDO has entered the cold, that is negative phase, and hence the number of cyclones is likely to increase. If similar conditions continue, then more tropical cyclones may form near the equator in the post-monsoon months. It is to be noted that the formation of cyclones near the equator is generally rare. However, when the waters warm, they can gain more moisture which can lead to the formation of cyclones. For a long time, we have been hearing the global temperature is increasing. Now its impact can also be clearly seen on the environment. Recently, a research has found that the amount of snow in the Antarctica region this winter season has been recorded less than before. Global warming is being said to be the reason for the change in the natural patterns of this region. In reality, according to the pattern, the ice melts during summer, and when winter comes, the ice converts into its previous state. But this winter, the ice of Antarctica has not increased in the same amount. On the other hand, the extent of summer sea ice in Antarctica was also the lowest ever recorded last February. In reality, sea ice exists at the interface between the ocean and the atmosphere in the polar regions. In such a situation, the development of this snow depends on the temperature of lower level of the atmosphere. Since the temperature of the atmosphere has increased, the capacity to make ice has decreased. In other words, there is less thermodynamical ice growth here. Additionally, global warming has changed atmospheric circulation which affects Antarctic sea ice through the changed position of the polar vortex. The strong cyclonic winds blowing in the upper atmosphere in the polar regions are called polar whirlwind or polar vortex. It is a large area of low pressure and cold air around the Earth's poles. It is noteworthy that due to the melting of sea ice, marine ecosystems are affected. The presence and quality of sea ice is directly related to marine primary production. This means that due to reduction in ice, marine production will also reduce. This will result in less food being produced to maintain high nutrition levels. Let us inform you that reduction in snow cover is a matter of great concern because it helps in accelerating global warming. In fact, most of the sun's rays falling on the surface of the snow are reflected. But the sun's rays falling on water are less reflected, due to which the temperature of water increases. The United World Wrestling, that is UWW, the world regulatory body of the sport, recently temporarily suspended the Wrestling Federation of India or WFI. The reason given was that elections were not conducted on time. The effect of this suspension will be that now Indian wrestlers participating in UWW competitions will not be able to play there under the national flag. The same will happen at the World Championships in Belgrade next month. Not only this, even if they win the gold medal in these games, the Indian national anthem will not be played. This means that players can participate in the game, but now they have to play under the UWW flag. The UWW took this action because of the absence of an elected president and board, which is against the UWW's terms and conditions of membership. The UWW also cited the insecurity of athletes and the need to restore the functioning of the federation as reasons for the suspension. However, this will not affect the Asian Games 2023 to be held in China, as the players will go to play on behalf of Indian Olympic Association. Earlier, the proposed Asian Wrestling Championship in Delhi was shifted to Kazakhstan's Astana amidst the recent controversy of wrestlers. Let us tell you that UWW was formed in 1912 and its headquarters is in Switzerland. Let us now look at the 5 questions based on the bulletin. Questions based on today's bulletin are: first question is, consider the following statements in the context of Census Act 1948. 1. Section 3 of this act mentions that the census should be conducted by the central government. 2. Under the act, the central government can conduct the census only after consultation with the state government. 3. As per the rules, the central government announces the conduct of the census by issuing a notification in the Gazette. How many of the above statements are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding self-respect marriage. 1. The provision of self-respect marriage was added after amendment in Hindu Marriage Act 1955. 2. Self-respect marriage is also known as Soya Mariya Thai or Sera Thiruta marriage. 3. The provisions related to self-respect marriage are applicable only in Tamil Nadu. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements in the context of Aditya L-1 mission. 1. Aditya L-1 mission is being launched by ISRO. 2. This is India's first space mission to study the sun. 3. Under this mission, the spacecraft will be placed in a halo orbit around Lagrange point 4. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements related to BRICS. 1. The 16th conference of the BRICS group was held in the year 2023. 2. A total of 7 new countries have got membership of the BRICS group. 3. The first conference of BRICS group was held in the year 2009. 4. South Africa joined BRICS in 2012. How many of the above statements are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, only 3, or all 4. Last question is, consider the following statements related to Pacific Decadal Oscillation. 1. It is a long-term oceanic fluctuation of the Pacific Ocean. 2. It influences the northeast Indian summer monsoon. 3. It does not give rise to cyclones. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all of the above, or none of the above. Recently, NCERT and UNESCO released the comic book Let's Move Forward. This comic book is designed to meet the diverse needs of adolescents and contains important information related to 11 thematic components of the school health and wellness program. These include topics like emotional well-being, interpersonal relationships, gender equality, nutrition and health, substance abuse prevention, healthy lifestyle, reproductive health, internet safety, etc. This book is available in 11 languages. It aims to prioritize overall well-being while entertaining children through storytelling. This marks a significant progress towards enhancing the goals of the School Health and Wellness Program, that is SHWP. The program was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in April 2018 under the Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan. SHWP is an initiative launched by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Recently, Hyderabad gave the country its first solar rooftop cycling track. The track has been named Healthway. Its total length is 23 kilometers with 3 lanes. Solar panels of 16 megawatt have been installed on the roof of this highway. Let us tell you that its inspiration has been taken from the bike highway made of solar panels in South Korea. Military exercise Bright Star 23 is going to be organized from 31st August to 14 September 2023 at Mohammed Naguib military base in Egypt, in which India will also participate. The Indian Army is being represented by a contingent of 23 Jat Battalion. Let us tell you that this is a multinational joint military exercise of the three forces, the Navy, the Army and the Air Force. It is being led by US CENTCOM and the Egyptian Army. It started as a bilateral biennial training exercise between the US and Egypt during the 1977 Camp David Accords. The first edition of this exercise was conducted in the year 1980 in Egypt. The sixth census report on minor irrigation schemes was recently released by the Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Regeneration, Ministry of Jal Shakti. As per the report, there are 23.14 million minor irrigation schemes in the country, of which about 94.8% are groundwater and 5.2% are surface water schemes. According to this, Uttar Pradesh has maximum number of minor irrigation schemes in the country. It is followed by Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Odisha and Jharkhand have the largest share of surface water schemes. It's worth noting that the year 2017-18 was taken as the reference year for this report. Recently, the world's first prototype of BS6 Stage 2 electrified flex fuel vehicle was launched in New Delhi, India. It is manufactured by Toyota. Its name is Toyota Innova Hybrid Car. This is the world's first car which is capable of running completely on ethanol. It has been given E100 grade. The vehicle features a flex fuel engine as well as an electric powertrain, allowing greater use of ethanol with fuel efficiency. This will reduce India's energy dependence on other countries. Recently, artists have been successful in reviving the centuries-old Sita dance drama folk art. It is believed that this folk art originated in Perinad in Kollam district of Kerala. This art was first performed by the people of Vedar and Pulayar communities about 150 years ago. This dance form is based on some episodes of the Indian epic Ramayana. It depicts the story of Sita from her exile to Andardhanam, that is, her going to heaven. During its performance, instruments like Ganjira, Manikatta, Chirata and Kemani are used, which are completely made from natural materials. In this, the actors wear flamboyant costumes and makeup, and the characters of Ram and Lakshman are shown in green color. In early times, Sita Kali was performed as a part of Onam. Recently, the list of winning cities of Smart City Award 2022 was released by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Indore got the Best Smart City Award and Madhya Pradesh got the Top State Award for its excellent performance in the Smart City mission. Surat and Agra stood second and third in the cities category, while in the state category, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh stood second, third and fourth respectively. Chandigarh won the Best Union Territory Award. This award is given to promote sustainable awards in various categories. Let us tell you that this award is given under the Smart City mission. The mission was launched on June 25th, 2015. Indian players hoisted their flag in the recently concluded World Athletics Championship 2023. Indian athlete Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal in javelin throw. He has become the first Indian to win a gold medal in the World Athletics Championship. In the final of javelin throw, he threw the javelin at a distance of 88.17 meters. Also, Parul Chaudhary finished 12th in the 3000-meter steeplechase final. This year, America, Canada and Spain made it to the top 3 of the medal table of the championship. On the other hand, India secured 18th position in the medal list. The World Athletics Championship was organized in Budapest, the capital of Hungary. It was the 19th edition of the championship. Recently, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojna completed 9 years of successful implementation. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojna was launched on 28 August 2014 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to the government, more than 50 crore people have been brought into the formal banking system with the help of Jan Dhan accounts. About 55.5% of these accounts are of women and 67% of the accounts have been opened in rural, semi-urban areas. The cumulative deposits in these accounts are over Rs 2 lakh crore. In addition, around 34 crore RuPay cards have been issued in these accounts without any charges, which also carry a provision of Rs 2 lakh accidental insurance cover. Recently, State of India's Birds 2023 report was released. According to the report, India's raptor, that is predatory birds, are decreasing rapidly. In the range of raptors, there has been a decline in the number of vultures. According to statistics, about 8% decrease in the number of Indian vultures is being recorded every year. At the same time, the population of red-headed vultures and white-headed vultures have also registered a decline of 5% and 4% respectively. According to the research, species like shikra, booted eagle, greater spotted eagle and Brahmini kite have shown very little decline.